Here are 8 things that I certainly missed when I first watched the Tears of the Kingdom trailer. Certainly I had to watch back a few times, pausing, and as always some brilliant ideas come up from Reddit, so where I use those I'll also make sure to share the Redditor's name. What are things you might have missed from Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Well, let's find out. First up then, and probably one of the most interesting things to me, is the visual quality, as well as the performance. Now if you remember when Breath of the Wild first came out, and even now, it suffers from quite a few slowdowns if you push it hard enough in certain areas. The trailer that we've seen here, it looks very much like it's almost running at native resolution, with very good image quality across the board. But it's the performance that really caught my eye. I don't see any frame drops. Now obviously they're not going to show any footage with frame drops, but previous trailers you could spot slight slowdown in gameplay areas. Here though, everything looks absolutely incredible. Particular emphasis has to go to some of the boss fights they show, and they're obviously embracing the physics from the first game, so perhaps some work has been done under the hood. Now someone did suggest that perhaps this is a PC build they're showing, but I think that's highly unlikely. Number 2 then is the dynamic weather. While Breath of the Wild did feature different weather types, it looks like certainly the storm system at least has been significantly improved, with lightning bolts striking the ground, and I do wonder if we'll see things like spontaneous lightning strikes causing fires in fields. And I must admit I was a little concerned at the start of that trailer, wondering what percentage of the game would be spent in those stormy conditions. I don't mind it being something that can happen, but you wouldn't want it like that all the time, and quite clearly they show some of the different weather systems, so that's not an issue. We were shown a number of new enemy types, as well as some we've seen in previous reveals, and I do wonder if some of these may be trappable. Some flying mounts would be cool, but we certainly see more aerial based enemies. In number 4 then, we have quite a few of the different biomes shown. If you were wondering about the scale of the map, to my eye, we've got several different floating islands that will be accessible in a number of different ways, including building your own vehicles, more on that later. But then you have the standard biome, which could be classed as terra firma or the ground area. Obviously we'll have the snowy areas, but there's also glimpses of the subterranean. We've seen it in previous trailers where they're underground, and the extent of a potential cave system. All signs are pointing to a much bigger play space, albeit with potentially the same horizontal footprint but not vertical. It's a clever idea, and I wonder how those transitions are going to work. One cool little Easter egg you might not have noticed is the 3-headed dragon on the bridge. That gave me strong Elden Ring vibes, and although it's difficult to blow it up and see it clearly, it gives us an idea of some of those mini bosses we may face. This trailer also featured a number of returning locations. Jumping over to Reddit then, we have some excellent analysis already. One Redditor, name shown here, has actually pieced together the locations of many of the places we saw in that trailer. I'll also pop a link to them in the description if you want to go check out the full thing. But as you can see, some of the locations show some marked changes to the landscape, while others look absolutely identical, with one commenter pointing out that the trees being completely identical may indicate that the times between the original game and this aren't as significant as we potentially thought, or they're just thinking into it too much. There's a bit more information here about the returning blood moon mechanics, which see the enemies come down during a blood moon. Honestly, it wasn't a mechanic that I particularly enjoyed from the first game, but what has very much caught my attention is the vehicle customization or construction. We see Link pull a wheel from a river or small lake, and then in the next scene he's riding along on a vehicle that has that very same wheel. Then there's what looks like a hot air balloon, I should imagine created again with pieces that you found and using the mechanics of the game, and what's essentially a drone. Now the community created some incredible flying machines, and it does look like the dev team have taken inspiration from those. That's by no means a bad thing, and if there's more freedom to customize and create, players are going to create some insane things. So there are 8 things that the trailer pretty much guarantees us. There's obviously a ton of speculation online, as well as different theories about time loops and some of the other mechanics that we'll see in the game, but nothing quite as concrete. Did you see anything else in the trailer? Let me know down in the comments. A big thanks to all of you that watch the channel and enjoy the content, something a bit different, but I am pretty hyped. That May release date is going to come around quicker than you thought, and we'll definitely be reviewing that one. A thanks to our Patreons and members, and to all of you that enjoy the content. For all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!